Kindness is often praised as one of the highest virtues, revered in ancient scriptures and echoed in modern wisdom. As the saying goes, be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a battle you cannot see. But in the quiet chambers of your heart, have you ever wondered why kindness is sometimes met with misunderstanding? Why do gentle souls occasionally face disrespect or find their goodwill mistaken for weakness? This paradox is as old as time. Even the Buddha, embodiment of boundless compassion, faced ridicule. And Zen masters have long reminded us, true kindness must walk hand in hand with wisdom and discernment. For compassion without clarity can become a doorway to suffering, not only for others, but for yourself. This is a story and philosophical teaching about the intricate balance between kindness, wisdom, and the respect of others. The beginning of the journey. In a quiet and serene monastery, there was once a disciple who prided himself on being kind. He believed that his kindness was a reflection of his understanding of the teachings. Every day, he went out of his way to help others, carrying the burdens of fellow disciples, offering his meal to the hungry, never saying no to a request, no matter how unreasonable. His kindness at first earned him admiration. People spoke of his generosity, and he basked in the glow of their praises. Yet over time, something strange began to happen. The very people who once admired him began to grow indifferent. Some even began to exploit his kindness. They would leave their tasks undone, knowing he would finish them. They would speak to him harshly, confident that he would not retaliate. One evening, disheartened and confused, the disciple approached his teacher, an old master known for his wisdom. "Master," he said, "why does my kindness bring me disrespect? Am I not following the teachings of compassion?" The master smiled gently and said, "Let me tell you a story. The tale of the river and the forest. Once, the master began, there was a river that flowed through a dense forest. The river was generous, offering its water to quench the thirst of all who came. The animals drank from it. The trees grew strong by its side. Travelers rested on its banks. It never turned anyone away. But over time, the animals began to muddy the waters without care. The travelers, instead of resting, began polluting the river with their waste. The trees, growing strong, extended their roots into the river, drawing more water than needed. The river began to dwindle, its clear waters turning murky. It was then that the river spoke to the forest. "Why do you all treat me this way? I have given you life, yet you exploit my kindness." The forest replied, "Because you do not set boundaries, we assumed you did not mind." The lesson of the river. The disciple listened intently. "Master," he asked, "what should the river have done?" The master replied, "The river must learn that kindness without wisdom is like an overflowing cup. Too much generosity without limits leads to imbalance. True kindness must be rooted in awareness. It must know when to give and when to withhold, not out of selfishness, but out of a desire for harmony." "How do I practice this, Master?" the disciple asked. The master said, "By understanding the nature of people and the world." The nature of people. People, the master continued, are like mirrors reflecting what they perceive. When you are too kind without discernment, some will see it as a virtue. Others will see it as a weakness. This is not because kindness is flawed, but because the human mind often mistakes silence for submission, generosity for lack of strength. The disciple pondered this. "Are you saying I should stop being kind?" The master shook his head. Number. Stop being indiscriminately kind. There is a Zen saying, "When helping others, do not lose yourself." To be truly kind, you must also respect yourself. A kindness that diminishes your spirit is not true kindness, it is self-sacrifice that leads to imbalance. The balance of yin and yang. The master then shared a teaching from ancient philosophy. In life, there is yin and yang, opposing but complementary forces. Kindness is like yin, soft and nurturing, but it must be balanced by yang, strength and firmness. Without yang, kindness becomes weakness. Without yin, strength becomes cruelty. The key is balance. The disciple asked, "How can I achieve this balance?" The master smiled, "By practicing mindful action. Before you act, ask yourself, is this kindness coming from strength, or is it an attempt to gain approval? Is my action empowering others, or is it enabling their lack of responsibility? True kindness uplifts both the giver and the receiver." The test of kindness. The next day, the master gave the disciple a task. Go into the village and offer help where it is needed. But this time, be mindful. Watch how people respond and how you feel. Then return and tell me what you learned. The disciple obeyed. At first, he helped as he always did, saying yes to every request. But he soon noticed a pattern. Some people accepted his help with gratitude, others demanded more, treating him as though his kindness was their right. Then he remembered the master's words. When faced with unreasonable demands, he politely declined. To his surprise, some people respected him more for it. They began to see him as an equal. Others who had been exploiting him grew angry, but he realized their anger came from losing control over him, not from any true harm. Reflection on the teachings. The master's teachings reveal a truth hidden in life's complexities. Kindness, while noble, is not enough on its own. It must be accompanied by discernment and self-respect. This invites us to examine not just how we express kindness, but the motivations and consequences behind our actions, the mirror of self-awareness. To truly understand kindness, one must look inward. Why are we kind? To alleviate suffering? To seek approval? To avoid conflict? In Zen philosophy, self-awareness is the foundation of all action. Without this clarity, even pure intentions can cause harm. The disciple's initial kindness, though genuine, was unbalanced. It came from a desire to embody compassion, but lacked the strength to set boundaries. His story reflects a common mistake, equating kindness with self-sacrifice, a path that often leads to resentment. The power of boundaries. Boundaries are not barriers, they are expressions of respect for yourself, for others. When the disciples set boundaries, some reacted with anger, others showed newfound respect. This duality mirrors human nature. As the master taught, people perceive kindness through the lens of their own conditioning. Boundaries teach others how to treat us. They signal that kindness is a choice, not an obligation. Our value doesn't depend on saying yes to every demand. Thus, boundaries transform kindness from a passive act to an empowered one. The balance between giving and receiving. In Buddhism, balance is central. Giving must be balanced with receiving. Kindness that flows only outward becomes unsustainable, like a river that never replenishes. The disciple learned, by preserving his energy, he could offer more meaningful support. This requires mindfulness. Before giving, ask, is this action coming from abundance or depletion? Will it create harmony or dependence? True kindness uplifts both giver and receiver. Compassion, without attachment. A profound Zen teaching, compassion must be free of attachment. The Buddha taught that clinging to outcomes, even noble ones, leads to suffering. The disciple's early kindness was tied to a desire for approval, an expectation of harmony. When unmet, he felt disrespected. Through the master's guidance, he learned compassion without attachment, letting go of the need for recognition, offering kindness as a gift, not a transaction. In this state, even disrespect couldn't disturb his peace, because his actions were no longer driven by external validation. Strength and softness in Zen. In Zen, softness is not weakness, it is a form of strength. Water, though soft, can carve mountains. Kindness, rooted in self-respect, is gentle yet powerful. The disciple discovered saying no didn't diminish his compassion, it amplified it. By ensuring his kindness was purposeful, by making it sustainable, this applies to all life, relationships, work, community. Kindness should flow from strength, inspiring respect, not pity. The balance of softness and strength creates harmony within oneself and with others. The inner transformation. As the disciple reflected, he realized the true transformation was within him. The disrespect he faced wasn't about his kindness, but about his imbalance. By aligning actions with wisdom and self-awareness, he regained others' respect, he deepened self-respect. This is the essence of Zen practice. Life's challenges are opportunities to grow. Through mindfulness, we turn obstacles into stepping stones, integrating the teachings into life. To apply these lessons, pause and reflect. Before offering kindness, ask, is this genuine compassion or fear of rejection? Set boundaries with love. Saying no kindly is an act of self-care and honesty. Practice compassion without attachment. Let go of the need for recognition. Balance giving and receiving. Nurture yourself as you nurture others. Embody softness and strength. Let kindness flow like water, adaptable yet unstoppable. The Master's final words. A tree that bends with the wind does not break, but a tree that bends too much loses its roots. Let your kindness flow with the rhythms of the world, but never let it uproot your self-respect or inner wisdom. True compassion lives in this sacred balance. Closing, thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel below. Tap the bell so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts in the comments. What would you like us to explore next? See you in the next video. Pukal.